These are the three things that she's taking her life back, embraces wholeheartedly, that changes lives. One of the things you have to do is change what you hear. Just think of this. If you grew up as a child and you were given the message that you're not worthy, whether someone actually said it or whether they did something, it gave me a message and I internalized it, hearing it in my mind to mean I'm not worthy. So there's different ways that we get that message. If you begin to hear things and you begin to see things in your life that matches that thinking, it really fortifies that thinking about what you heard. Now keep in mind that we're talking about when we're children. Children interpret things differently. It is our childlike person who adopted that belief. Think about this. I'm sure you know, and it could be even your life, because I know it wasn't my life. I had been operating as an adult based on the pain I experienced as a child. Have you done that? And it happens when I hear women say, all men are dogs, they're no good. And then when I have conversations with them, kind of find out it wasn't all men. It was kind of like the one we attracted and allowed to stay in our lives. Because there's this word again, subconsciously, something operates in us. Even though we say we want this, something operates in us subconsciously that wins out every time if you don't heal the trauma. It's your trauma that makes the decision. The second area that needs to be addressed is what you believe. Hearing things over and over again, you begin to believe that is true. So we have to change what we believe. The third thing, which is really difficult and was difficult in my life, is changing who you hanging around. You have to ask yourself who you socialize with the majority of the time. You're in conversations with them. You're hearing each other share your thinking about life, about men, about how high you can soar. You have to ask yourself, do they represent where you're trying to go? Or do they represent your past? That has to change. That is so hard. Just like God was telling Abraham, you have to leave everything behind. In order for us to leap into what's next for our life, I'm talking about that big. I'm talking about living a purpose-driven life. Because I know for me, and I know for a lot of women that I've talked to over the years, you don't get that fulfillment in your life until you begin to live out the plan and purpose for your life. I've chased relationships, I've chased things, I've chased positions, and they just gave me a temporary feel good. And after a while, the feel good wore off. So then I had to find something else. But since living in a place of purpose of my life, and not perfectly, living in a place of purpose has given me so much fulfillment in a way that nothing has been able to. Remaining on the journey of healing is allowing me to take risk. It's allowing me to tell myself, I can go to Paris and I'll be safe. Because I've learned to create a life of loving me and being safe. And as I'm waiting, I'm preparing and I'm getting excited and I'm connected to other women like you ladies that have that same mindset, and it's giving me the sense of happiness. And that's what I've learned to do as a result of healing the trauma in my life. So when people ask me, how are you just going to Paris just like that? It's because I learned how to love me, and I learned how to rewrite the wrong story of my life. I learned to say, yes, I deserve better. I learned that If I'm not at that point and I don't like how my life is going, I so love me enough that I said, you know what, I'm going to somebody else for some help. I'm going to that person that knows better so they can show me how to get to that same place. I will always be open to that. As a woman who experienced trauma, again, I know there's going to be situations, people, and things that are going to trigger that traumatic experience, because that's never going away. It happened. However, I now can cope better with it. I now can soothe myself. I now love me. I've learned these different things. I learned to rewrite the wrong story in my head when it tries to pop up, when I start reaching for my next, because that's when it happens. Because when you start stepping out of your comfort zone, boo, that triggers those messages like, where you think you're going? What do you think? Not only that, if you're around the wrong people, they are also telling you, who you think you are, where you think you're going, you're not going to make it. So you got them saying it and you got you saying it. So you wonder why people give up on their dream? You got to change what you hear, what you believe, and who you're hanging around. So join me on my channel each week by subscribing below and making sure you hit that notification bell, because each week I will be uploading videos about how you can break free from that limited thinking. So I'm going to be sharing my real life journey, and that's why I began with sharing I'm going to Paris. And by the time I land in Paris to live, I will be 60 years old. I'm breaking all traditions. I'm breaking rules, because I'm taking my life back. So join me each week. I will see you next time.